Um, Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're so excited to have Fiama back for another amazing session. She presented with us yesterday as well. We got into these chats because some people are reporting the weather. In some places it's cold where you are. We've got a lot of humidity here. I know this session is going to be on fire, so it'll heat up, I'm sure, because you're going to do such a great job, Fiamma. And we appreciate everyone here. Feel free to keep chiming in the chat where you're calling in from. Love seeing all the videos on. I will ask you, if you haven't already, make sure you're muted while Fiamma presents so we can hear all of the wonderful information she shares. To share a little bit about Participate Learning with you. My name is Katie Turnbull. I work as the Manager of Professional Learning and Culture with Participate Learning, which means that I get to work with a teacher experience team who helps support our over 900 international teachers who come from all over the world to teach in K-12 US schools for up to 5 years. And part of our goal at Participate Learning is to unite the world through global education. And so we do that through our international teachers and through our dual language programs, and also through our global education programs. So we're so excited to have one of our dual language teachers, Fiamma, with us today. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. I'm going to start sharing my screen so I can start with my presentation. As if someone of you was with me yesterday, maybe you are going to recognize some stuff, but let's try to do it as much engaging as I can. Well, first of all, I'm going to present myself. I'm Fiama Liaudat. I'm from Argentina. I'm a special education teacher. I've been working as special education teacher for 5 years. And now I'm living in the United States since 1 year ago, working as kindergarten Spanish immersion co-teacher in Martin Millennium Academy. I'm a proud cultural ambassador of Participate Learning and community member of the United We Teach community. That is really good. And if you are not part, you should join us. And an active Twitter person. So if you have a Twitter account, follow me at Miss Liaudat. I am all the time sharing things about my work, things about resources, professional development opportunities, community things, challenge, everything. So in this way, we can continue being connected. Today, I'm going to share with you a presentation about responsive classroom approach and the importance of morning meetings. The real thing that is morning meetings is something new for me. Of course, I learned them when I arrived here 1 year ago. And we used to do it, of course, as a routine. My teacher has it like super easy to do it, but I didn't know the real meaning and the real importance of morning meetings. That is why I decided to create this session to talk about like the importance of morning meetings and to share with you some ideas that we can use to work specific social and emotional skills with our students. First, before starting, I like these kind of things to make it a little more interactive. So let's start with an icebreaker. I'm going to ask you to open in your cell phone, computer, or some kind of device that you have, this website that is www.menti.com. When you open it, it's going to ask you a code. This is the code, 916041. And when you put this code, the app or the website is going to ask you the next question. What ideas come to your mind when you think of a morning meeting? Please use single words. You are able to use at least 2 single words and just ideas. What comes to your mind? It doesn't matter if it's correct or not. What comes to your mind when you think of a morning meeting? I'm going to give you like 1 minute to do it. I'm going to move to the other website so we can see your answers. Great. Whoa, that is working really good. Thank you so much. I'm going to spend this minute while you are answering to thank so much to 2 persons. My Argentinian friend Gerardo that is here with me that helped me last night with some ideas that I wasn't so sure. And thank you so much to Jose Luis Rodriguez, Teacher of the Year, that I know that he's super technological and say, okay, I want this app where I can put words and it appears different. You know what it is? Yes, give me 1 minute. He gave me the app and I say, thank you so much. He really helped me. So that's for this community, what it's for, like to learn and share ideas together. So, well, how many things are coming? Community, relationships, greeting, fun, connection, share. I love it. I'm going to give you like 20 more seconds, but it's great. Feelings, fun, share, engagement, the most important thing, emotions, connect, connection. I love it. I have to say I love it. I can't stop looking at all the words that are appearing. Well, I'm going to take a screenshot right now to save it because I love it. I have to say, oh, it continues appearing. There you go. I hope it's safe. Well, what ideas come to your mind when you think of a morning meeting? We are going to try to read this graphic, but as you can see, community, greetings, connection, relationships, fun, share are like the most important for you. So my idea is like through all this session, we can see if these morning meetings are working with these things that you have in your mind, that all of you are super correct in your thoughts, in your belief about a morning meeting. But well, let's work on see how we can promote this community sense, these relationships, how we can work with greeting, for what we can use our greetings, in which way we can do it, how we can promote connection and relationship between our students and their teachers, and what other things we can work with this morning meeting. And maybe we did as a routine, but it's much more of that. So I'm going to come back to my presentation. Thank you so much for all of you who share your thoughts in the before icebreaker. And we are going to start with what is responsive classroom, because morning meeting, it was promoted by responsive classroom approach. So what is this approach about? Let's see this short video.
Every child deserves a warm, safe, and joyful learning environment, a place that supports them to take risks, to learn, and reach their full potential. That's the core principle of responsive classroom, which is now used in classrooms and schools across the country. Responsive classroom is not a separate curriculum. Instead, it's an approach to teaching. It offers educators practices that they can use throughout the day to expand children's learning and create positive communities, both in the classroom and throughout the school.
Perfect. So responsive classroom is an approach that we can use for teaching to our kids that use evidence to engage learners and to promote positive culture and classroom culture. It has 4 key domains. I'm going to come back to here. Those are engaging academics, positive community, effective management, and developmental awareness. Engaging academics means work with tasks that are active, interactive, challenging, fun, and are centered in our students' interests. Positive community means create a safe environment where our kids or our students feel comfortable taking risks and establish relationship with their partners. Effective management means create a clear and orderly learning environment that allow our students develop autonomy and responsibility and focus on their learning. And development awareness means as teacher put in practice our knowledge about children development to be able to work with them emotionally, physically, and cognitively, taking account their strengths and their needs. Now, this approach has like some kind of principles that guide the teaching style. So if we are going to work with a responsive classroom, we have to know that teaching social and emotional skills is as important as teaching academic content. How we teach is as important as what we teach. Growth cognitively occur through social interactions. How we work together as adults to create an inclusive environment and a positive one is as important as each thing that we can contribute individually. What we think and what we believe about our students is going to determine the expectation and reaction that we could have with them, taking account their development capacity. And partnering with families is important, taking account their contributions and respecting their culture is as important as the children that we are teaching. So we have to take account the family in the process of our children's learning. So these are like the principles that guide this responsive classroom approach. So if you are going to work with, remember, it's not something different of the curriculum that you are teaching. It's a way to teach where you're going to work with social and emotional skills in the same way with academic contents. So I'm going to share with you some of these approach practices that probably you put in practice in your classroom, but maybe you didn't know that you were working with this kind of teaching style. Interactive modeling. With interactive modeling, we are going to be working with the procedures and routines from school life in the same way that we are going to be working with social and emotional skills, both at the same time. So I'm going to show you some examples.
Before we sit down, who can raise their hand and remind me what we need to do when we come to our morning meeting? Think about how we sit. What do you remember from last week? We've only had a couple days together. What do you remember about last week, Taylor?
You sit on the edge of the carpet.
Yeah. What else do you remember about how we come to the carpet, Caroline?
You sit crisscross applesauce.
Anything else you remember, Sarah?
You put your eyes on the speaker.
Okay. You're noticing my new sign, aren't you? So watch how I sit in the circle, and then I'm going to invite you to do that. So just watch first. What did you notice that I did? Lexa, what did you notice?
You were quiet and you didn't say anything to anybody.
Okay. What else did you notice? Samantha?
You sat crisscross applesauce and I a little bit of fun with the bread.
Okay. Is there somebody else who can show us that? Sarah, go ahead and show us. All right. What did you notice Sarah did? Jackson?
She sat down quietly and she didn't talk to anyone.
Okay. Would the girls show us they can do that, please?
Great. So as you could see in this little video, the teacher is teaching procedures and routines for how to sit down in meeting circle in the classroom in the same way that she's making them feel a part, taking account and reflecting about why they have to do it in this way. This is another one about working with peers.
Today we're going to focus on how our classroom rules are going to help guide us as we choose a partner for Read to Someone. First, I'm going to show you what it's going to look and sound like, and I'm going to ask you what you notice. Can I have a volunteer to help with that? Kulan. So Kulan and I are going to be looking around, so put your eyes on us. Would you like to be my partner, please?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so we are going to have two students show what it looks and sounds like to choose a partner. And we'll have Jad and Hannah.
You guys were my partner. Yes.
What did you notice about how Jad and Hannah found a partner today? Natalia.
Maybe if they didn't want to be partners, they just kept their feelings inside.
So what did they do?
Hannah said yes to being partners with Jan.
Alan, what did you notice?
They be respectful to everyone and everything.
I noticed, I think that the same thing as you, that they were being respectful to each other. Remember that the steps to choosing a partner that we've been practicing, one thing we've been talking about is that it's not always your closest friend. We're going to try another classmate in the class sometimes. You're going to hand up, pair up silently, and remembering those kind words of, will you be my partner, please?
That's great. I love to share with you this kind of video when I was preparing this session, because you can see in a practice example how she's working with classroom roles or classroom procedures, in this case classroom like steps to choose a partner, and in the same way she's working with these social skills about being respectful, about know that you have to work with others, and the kids are being part of these kind of decisions. They are reflecting about why they are taking this decision or not. Logical consequences, we are used to work with them. It's like we are letting our students know that they can choose do whatever they want with their behavior, but if they do something wrong, it's going to have a consequence. And something that I want to work with now about these logical consequences is the difference between punishment and logical consequences. That sometimes we, maybe in the crazy thing about everyday classroom, we don't stop and realize about it. Or at least I didn't when I was in Argentina, and I discovered it here too. Like here, everything is so quiet, so calm, so reflective. Like you have to talk in a calm voice. I have really bad voice. So for me, it's difficult to put my voice in a level 0 and try to talk with my kids and ask them to reflect about their actions, to see why he did that or why he acted in this way. So I'm going to share with you this little compare grid where you can see which is the goal of the punishment and which is the goal of the logical consequence. When we talk about punishment, we are ensuring compliance by using external controls that are going to make our kids feel bad and probably embarrassed. And if we use logical consequence, the goal is try to make our students recognize and reflect about their actions to be able to develop internal controls, which is the underlying belief of the punishment. Like children is going to do it better just because he wants to avoid the punishment, of course, the consequence. Instead of that, the logical consequence, underlying belief, is that the student wants to do it better because he can do it reflecting and practicing. What is the teacher's approach and tone in a punishment? Of course, a reaction, a bad one, being angry, a high voice. In a logical consequence, we are going to stop, we are going to calm our voice, and we are going to try to talk with our student in a nice way. Which is the nature of the consequence in a punishment? For sure, it's not related with the behavior that the kids or the damage that the kids made. And in logical consequence, it is related to the behavior and it's reasonable for the child. So they know that they have this in this way, they are going to have this reasonable consequence. And what is the message to the child? If we use punishment, the child is going to feel that he's the problem. And if we use the logical consequence, the damage done will be the problem, not the child. So I think that it's really good to see this in these two ways, so we can reflect how we act as teachers when we have to set limits to our kids, and how we can use this maybe misbehavior, or how can we use it to promote in our kids this self-reflection about their actions and the consequences. Interactive learning instructors practice, and it's something that we used to do anyway, and that is promoting activities that are active and interactive for our kids, and they are part of them. I'm going to show this little video where you can see that the teachers is making the kids part of the process, of the learning process.
Today, what's called a parallel circuit. So why doesn't everyone go like this? Right now, you're making parallel lines with your arms. So I made kind of parallel lines with my wires. Okay, they kind of look like your arms right now. So in a parallel circuit, the electrons, they can choose either which path to go down. What do you predict is going to happen if I unscrew one of the light bulbs? Do you think it's going to turn off? Do you think both of them will turn off?
Yeah, because one is screwed off and then it can't go through, and then the other one's going to turn off.
Hannah, what do you think?
I think the brighter one is going to stay because this time it's a parallel and they all connect.
You guys have a lot of predictions. You're going to get the chance to try this.
Well, it's amazing how she's not explaining like the topic of the session, like the content. She's giving them the opportunity to experiment it, to make predictions, to see what is going on and listening them and making them feel part of the learning process of this specific content. In the right side of the slide, you can see some pictures. I want to share with you those that are my students last year when we made like a science experiment about how polar bears keep warm. And you can see my little one in the middle with this face like really impressed about when they put their finger inside the water and was cold. And then we put like Cisco, how do you say, la grasa, the grace? Like we simulate the polar bear skin, and when they put the finger inside the cold water, they couldn't feel anything, and they were amazed with that. And after that, we made the reflections, and when the science fair arrived and they have to expose, they talk about things that we didn't teach in class, but they discovered, but their interest in the thing that we were talking that day. That was amazing. So, establishing rules. This is something that we used to do, of course, and it's a great part of our our daily work, that we can create the classrooms with them. Yesterday, if some of you were in the session that I give, we talk about role playing and that stuff. So when we create classrooms, we can make our kids part of the decisions, and we can make them recognize why they have to follow these rules, what they are working on. If they are, for example, I don't know, raise your hand when you want to talk. Why? Because we can't talk all at the same time. Why? Because we have to respect others' opinions. Why? Because each of us has something to say, and we want to learn, wait our turn. Why? You can work with each rule to follow inside the classroom. How many social and emotional skills? Energizer. The energizers are like short and funny activities that we can do when we see that our kids are working, maybe a little disturbing the class, or not focused on the learning, or so talking a lot. We can stop the classes and come to the middle of the classroom. Okay, let's make this to like an icebreaker, you know.
Flee, 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 fly, flee, fly, flee, fly, mosquito, flee, fly, mosquito. Oh no, no, no more mosquitoes. Oh no, no, no more mosquitoes. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy. Ooh, I got one down my backy. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy. Ooh, I got one down my backy. Get that big bad bug with the bug spray. Get that big bad bug with the bug spray.
It's great. This is one of the ideas. Of course, there are a lot, but what you are doing is like put your kids out of the learning situation, take their mind like out of the focus on learning, and just relax, have fun, and I can assure you that is a great debrief for them to come back to the classroom activities, of course. Quiet time, this is my favorite, of course. This is the brief time that we can use after lunch or maybe after playground to come back, to go back to the camp, to relax, because I'm kindergarten teacher, and I can tell you when we come back from the playground everybody's super full of energy and wanted to continue talking and playing. Well, this is great for relax and for work with mindfulness exercise. That is something that we are working on now. Like everybody talk about mindfulness exercise, yoga, relax. So we used to work with Gun Noodle. Most of you for sure know it. That they have like the sea sounds or breathe exercise where you can pretend that you are working with a balloon. There are so many, but it is like just have this time to calm down and relax. The last picture are my kids. One day that we were working with a game, they have to imagine that they were flying. It was really nice. Closing circle. Closing circle is like 10 minutes before leaving school where we sit down all together and start reflecting and sharing about our day, what goals we got, and what things we learned, how we feel, and it's a way to come back to a calm again. So because I don't know you, but it happened to me a lot that at the end of the day, that you don't have time, that you're running, that the rebel is crazy. The time to leave school is crazy. So I think that putting in practice this strategy could allow us to calm down before leaving school.
Closing circle is a time that we're able as a class to close out our day in a meaningful way. We'll do one little social emotional thing that's super fast, like talk about something we're grateful for. We might shake hands around the circle, say goodbye. Today we did a book recommendation, so something that kind of ties into what we've been doing that day and ties it all together. We do our breathing and then we're out the door.
So now, the most important part of our session, morning meeting. Morning meeting is one of these responsive classroom approach practices that most of you know. That is the 20 to 30 minutes activity that we do every day before starting our school day in the beginning, and that allow us checking our students, start developing on them social and emotional skills, and promote this community sense and prepare them for the learning of the rest of the day. The morning meeting is not just this 20-30 activity and that's all, and it ends there. The morning meeting goals, or the most important thing that this approach promote with the morning meetings, is give our students a safe environment where they can feel trust with themselves, with the partners, and with teachers, that allow them to feel important, to feel unique, that encourage respectful learning, that help them to regulate their emotions, that boost empathy and teamwork. I have to say that I'm in love with the word empathy, that allow them to separate school from home and be prepared for the day's events. And the most important thing, support learning in all the ways: social, emotional, and academic. Morning meetings are a great way to support social and emotional learning. Why? Because it strengthens connection and relationship skills. It gives the kids a space where they can communicate, they can establish relationships, they are able to listen to their partners, to share with their partners, to build a community sense. Increase self-confidence. Why? Because students, you know, that maybe sometimes share what you feel or how do you feel is a little scared. So you are creating spaces where they can feel supported, and they feel able to open up with their friends, with their teachers, and in the same way they are able to share with other things that maybe in a regular basis he couldn't do it. Promote social awareness, because it's not only the thing that they have to share, they have to be able to see that the other person's opinions or feelings matters. They have to develop empathy. They have to be able to listen to their friends, to take in their perspective, to respect the diversity, and encourage positive behavior, because we are promoting a positive school culture. So everybody is going to feel part of this environment, is going to feel that they are listened, that they can share, and they are part of a team group. Which are the key components of the morning meetings? Greeting, sharing, activity, and morning message. It doesn't mean that in a morning meeting we are going to have all of these components. These components we have to take account and scale them. Morning meeting is a routine, so it's not something that you come to school today and you are going to do it and everybody's going to understand and everybody's going to participate and it's going to be a success at all. I'm sorry, but it's not like this. You have to scale it. Think that maybe you are with a group of kids that came from kindergarten and they know each other, but maybe you have new students. Or maybe if you are kindergarten as me, each year you have to create this community sense, this belonging sense. So I can recommend you, or I can think that the best thing to go with this morning meeting is start with greetings. That is the classical activity that you greet each other. You can start knowing each other by their names, their faces, and like being respectful, saying hello, good morning, and in a good way. Sharing is the other steps where you can start like open up with your friends, like sharing personal things, sharing thoughts, beliefs, feelings, whatever. From sharing, we are going to be able to go to the next step. That's going to be activity. Because in the activity, we can make it a little more fun, but at the same time, we can start adding some academic content. And in the last one is the morning message. But what happened with the morning message? We can use maybe morning message to put the day, the calendar. Okay, today is Monday, the number of the day, the weather is like this. Perfect. So that is something that we can do in the same way that greeting from the start of the school year. But if we use morning message in a more challenging way, we can use it, for example, for social study or science activities. So you can propose some kind of riddle, or maybe you can ask like a more deep questions. So for that step, we need that the students already feel comfortable with themselves, with the group, and with the teacher to be able to talk and to share what they feel or what they think. So let's see some ideas or examples about the different components of morning meetings. The first one that we were talking about was greeting. I'm going to show you this one.
In Marianne Harcourt's first grade classroom, students enjoy doing a picture greeting, which is a variation on the name tag greeting. Even students who are absent get greeted. When the greeter turns up a picture of a student who is not in school that day, the greeter says, "We miss you," before moving on to the next picture.
So why don't you start? So roll yours, turn it around, and go to the next person, okay?
Miss you, Corral. Good morning, Shayla.
Good morning, Sammy. Good morning, Eddie. Morning, Jayla.
Good morning, Matthew. Good morning, Marty.
I love it. There are so many ideas that I took and say, oh my God, I want to put them, all of them in practice. Well, sample good morning greeting like this one, or maybe just in a circle saying good morning to the person that you have next to you. Okay, good morning, and then that person is going to give you back the greeting and greeting to the next one. Ball bounce greeting is like in a circle again with a ball. You can say, I have Gerardo in front of me, so I threw the ball and say, good morning, Gerardo. Gerardo, take the ball. Gerardo say, okay, good morning, Emilia, and threw the ball, and Emilia received the ball. And each person that threw the ball one time, sit down. You are going to do this until all of them were greeting. Then match card greeting. This is maybe a little more challenging for kids, maybe for second, third grade and above, because you can, or maybe yeah, you can use your imagination here, but I think about it with math. So I know one, you are going to give the kids different cards, and one is going to have, I know, for example, 2 plus 3, and another kid's going to have 5. So they have to walk around the classroom to find the match. They are going to sit down together, and when everybody found their partner, they are going to say, okay, I have 2 plus 3, it's 5. So it's a math greeting, but you can do it with colors, with shapes, for example. No, it's that somebody has to find the other circle or animals or whatever, like a puzzle. Now, that is our thing, how we can do it virtually. Well, greetings are more easy. We can have virtual high-five greetings, we can have virtual hugs. It's really nice. I saw some videos about them too. But maybe there are more sharing or activities to do as morning meeting ideas in a virtual environment. Now, about sharing. Sharing is really nice because they are going to be able to open with their friends, to listen to them, to comment about them, but always with really in a really respectful way.
Okay, we're going to have a couple of shares today. And the people who are sharing today are Melanina and Daviani. And we've been learning how to do comments as well as questions. So today, Daviani and Melanina, when they're done with their shares, they're going to ask for, do you remember, Daviani, what are you going to ask for?
For comments and questions.
Okay. So you can either give a comment or you can ask a question. All right, Daviani, you're going to go first. Are you ready to use a big voice? And tell some details about your birthday that you wanted to share? Okay, and everyone, what do we do to let Daviani know we're listening? Zev?
Look at her.
Okay, let's all get ready. Showing Daviani we're doing our best listening.
When I was at my cousin's house, I had a birthday with my cousin, and we had a cake, and instead of candles, we didn't have it because we didn't have any. So I jumped up the table, and then I found sticks. I do have comments or questions. Sorry. Sounds like you have fun. Cause maybe the cake was good.
Each time that I saw this video, I say, oh my God, what is happening in their heads, in their minds, while they are thinking, what can I ask to my friend? And how the little girl feel when she had to express to others what she lived. It's great. I really want to work with it. Other activity to share is hula baloo. It's like some more interactive way. You're going to have like a choice board where you're going to put ways to move, ways to greet, and topics to share. So you're going to say, okay, first round, everybody's going to tiptoe, handshake, and share about favorite dessert. So everybody have to walk around the classroom tiptoe. When they found a friend, they have to handshake, and they have to talk about favorite dessert. Then you as a teacher are going to say, okay, next round we are going to skip. Then you are going to link evos, and you're going to talk about favorite activities. You can do it 3 or 4 times, changing the topics, and you can change the board each week if you have so many ideas to do it. Now, how to do it virtually? Introduce your neighbor. It's a great activity. More if you work with middle schoolers or high schoolers, you can assign them a friend before, for example, the Monday of the week, and they have to talk with their friend about something that they like. I don't know, I talk with Gerardo about that, our favorite food. My favorite food is empanada. So, and the next day, or from Monday to Friday, for example, on Friday we start the day and we say, okay, I'm Fiamma, my friend is Gerardo, and his favorite food is empanadas. So you are sharing with the other friend, your other partners, what we talk with your neighbor, in this case, your friend assigned. Tell me about it. Tell me about it is more like you can use it through Padlet, through Flipgrid, or maybe in Google Classroom. Just post a question about anything. It could be a content question, it could be a deep question, a reflecting question. And the idea is like all the kids can post an answer. You can do it in an anonymous way, or they can put their name. And the idea is like we do this today, and maybe at the next day, or as I said, from Monday through Friday, we can discuss about it. Would you rather, this is my favorite, that we allow the kids, say, okay, would you rather, I don't know, have a pet unicorn or a pet dinosaur? Why? So we are going to give them the opportunity to say what they would like or what they prefer and why. So we can be able to listen to the arguments that they have for these choices. And it's a way that we discover maybe what they like, how they feel, what are their favorite things, anything. This is like the main or the most important thing about sharing, knowing each other. About activities, there are so many ideas. I'm going to share with you these that are super short but super funny.
To come and get the next word, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Valerie, you ready? You could show me, but don't show anyone else. So show us that you're ready for Sparkle. You're right. Come on over. Okay? Okay. So before Valerie reads it, what's Messiah going to do? Who can tell me what Messiah is going to do? Marema?
Repeat it.
Okay, and then what will Lydia do? Okay, and then what will Haiti do?
Start.
Haiti, what will you do?
Start to spell it.
Okay, are you ready? Okay, so listen closely.
Because I was late to school because my dog ran away.
Okay. Say it with strong voice.
B. E. C.
Sebastian.
A.
Well, that's a great activity, and I want to take a note about this one, that you can see that they already know the rules of the morning meeting activity. Why? Because they make it as a routine. It's like when you discover what activities the kids enjoy more, you can repeat it. You don't need to change the morning meeting each day. Neither you need to do the same each day. But you can just feel with which one they feel more confident, or they feel better, or they have more fun, and you can repeat it as many times as you want.
All right, boys and girls, so for our group activity today, we are going to do a song, and we're going to sing a Ram Sam Sam. Yeah! All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. A Ram Sam Sam, a Ram Sam Sam, a gooly 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 Ram Sam Sam, a Ram Sam Sam, a Ram Sam Sam, a gooly 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 Ram Sam Sam, a gooly 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 Ram Sam Sam, a gooly 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 Ram Sam Sam. Good. All right, boys and girls, so now we're going to take out a Ram Sam Sam, and I want you to give me 3 words that we can use in substitution for Ram Sam Sam. So let's pick something that has to do with food and restaurants, okay? So, Crystal. McDonald's.
Burger King.
Burger King.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Okay, so let's see how it'll go. So we'll do a Burger King, a Kentucky Fried Chicken, and a Burger King. Then for the end, we'll do McDonald's. You got it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. A Burger King, a Kentucky Fried Chicken, and a Burger King, a Burger King, a Kentucky Fried Chicken, and a Burger King. McDonald's, a Kentucky Fried Chicken, and a Burger King.
Of course, in this kind of activity, we have to put our creative, our innovative ways in practice and do our best. I can imagine how this teacher could put these words in this song, but it was so funny, and I would love to do it one day. Other activities that we can do, and more virtually, is think outside the box. For example, you can draw in a paper and ask to your kids to have a paper in their houses, a letter, I don't know, a letter B. And you are going to say, okay, this is anything but an ice cone. So you're going to give them the freedom to draw from the B anything, but it couldn't be an ice cream cone. So there you're going to put in practice their creativity, and I can assure that they are going to draw anything, and you are going to be surprised with so many ideas that they can put in practice in this activity. Count to 100 while doing jumping jacks. Why not some kind of physical exercise? What can you build with something you have at home? Maybe ask them the day before to bring some kind of elements and work building something. And group song, that is the same activity that we watched in the video. And the last one, the morning message, super quickly.
All right, our first part of our morning message doesn't change, so you guys are able to help me with that first part, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay, here we go, ready?
Good morning.
Today is Wednesday, September 24th,
2014.
This is the part that you guys are going to listen to. You ready? Draw a picture of something that starts with the letter, what is that?
P.
Very good. Write your name under your picture. And then you guys can help me with this part. Ready?
Love Mrs. House.
Very good. And we had some friends come up and draw some pictures of things that start with the letter, what?
P.
Very good. Wilson, what was your picture? A pig. Boys and girls, what sound do we hear at the beginning of pig? Very good. All right. So
This is a normal idea for morning message. She worked, as you can see, with the day, with the calendar, and then she introduced a question that probably that question was introduced maybe the first day of the week, and now they are working on the next one. The idea is that they can participate on the activity and then they can discuss about it. Now, which are other activities that we can use virtually? A math message, for example, if you are working with middle schoolers or high school, you can upload some kind of puzzle or problem to solve so they can think and share about it. Some science riddles, I love it. Like you can start giving some kind of hints and they have to, or maybe on Monday give one hint, and from to Wednesday you say, okay, you already know what is that, and if they don't, you can give another hint, and maybe on Friday discover which was this science riddles. When I put this idea, I think automatically in that escape room that Miss Valencia shared with us in one of the Tech Tools stations. Sideword high frequency word sentences or Quizlet card. Quizlet is one of the apps that we use to work with vocabulary, so we can work with the calendar and when the vocabulary of the day and make sentences. It's like put your imagination to work. And we are arriving here to the end of this session. Everything looks so perfect, so many ideas, so many things to do, but of course, not always they work. You have to put in practice. Here, yesterday, Jay Roberts talked about that we are all the time trying, maybe it doesn't work, it's fine, not everything has to work. But the last thing we have to do is give up. It's just continue trying, continue putting in practice, and don't feel alone in this new situation that we are facing, because all of us are feeling the same. So to end the session with a little of humor, I'm going to share with you this girl that probably most of you already watched it, but it's really fun. And I think that it was a great way to finish.
Hi, oh my, mute your mics. Mute your mics. Hi, guys. Hi. So excited to see you. Hi. Oh, yeah, you have a dog. Yeah, she's so cute. Aw. Hi, puppy. Oh, you have a dog. Well, don't be careful with your, wow, you have a cat. Aw. Everyone has pets to show. Awesome. You have a lizard. You have a snake. Nope. Out. Jordan, do you want to try and maybe like turn your camera up so that I'm not looking up your nose? No, you don't, this is kind of like my office. You don't need to see the rest of my house. Oh, you don't have to ask if you can go to the bathroom. You can just go. It's your house. But wash your hands. No, don't bring your computer into the bathroom. No one needs to see that. No. All right. Happy Wednesday. It's Thursday? Wow. Sorry, the days are kind of blended together here. Yes, I do see you have your pajamas on today. Cool. Oh, you have pajamas on too. Yeah, they're SpongeBob. Ooh, yeah, rainbow unicorn pajamas. Wow, everyone's yelling what their pajamas are. Okay, awesome. All right, I have a huge announcement. I'm so excited to share. Oh, you can't? Okay, well, my headphones are plugged in. You can't hear me, so. Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? All right, so everybody sees this right here? What we're gonna do is, oh, it's backwards? Okay, so let's try it like this. Is that better? So that assignment is gonna be on Google. Your mom has a question? No. You don't need to take me to your mom. It's no, we're in the, okay. Hi, Mrs. Clark. Yeah, do you think that we could talk later? Guys, we're not taking our time to talk about Minecraft right now. No, I do not play Minecraft. So no, on the Minecraft, let's talk about it later. Let's focus. No to Pokemon too. We're not talking about Pokemon right now. Right, hey, so Jess. Can you, I'm literally teaching a class right now. Oh my, whoa. Hi guys, sorry about that. Yeah, no, this is my fancy office when everyone else is being so loud in my house. Yeah. Talk about fractions during, who is listening to Post Malone? So like, is that necessary? Ow. So just apply what we've been talking about for the last 30 minutes or so and put that work. Oh, you just logged in, so you didn't hear any of that lesson there. Awesome. Okay, so I'll just go over that again. Yep. Wow, you guys are all talking at the same time. It's like we're actually in our classroom. I miss you guys.
I love the patience of this teacher, and I think that this is something that all of us share. Being patient, and probably in our morning meeting virtually, we are going to face so many of the actions that this teacher faced. So be prepared and always with a smile. And well, that's all. I hope that you enjoyed the session, that you learned a lot, you took so many ideas for your next year. And well, let's continue learning.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Fiamma. I was dying during that video. I was just like, oh my gosh, I have a 6-year-old at home, and that's like, 36-year-olds, and it's a lot. So that was amazing. Great comic relief to end on. Thank you so much for everything you shared. I know Michelle mentioned this in the chat earlier, but your session yesterday also was so much about doing all of these strategies in remote learning. So we hope that everyone checks out both of Fiamma's sessions when they're posted in the community next week, because there's a lot of resources to share. I'm going to ask one quick question here before we close out. Fiamma, how have you done echoes and chants and songs with your kids when you're meeting with them virtually?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry,
Sure.
I didn't.
Sure. How have you done some of your echoes and chants and those call and response things you showed us? How have you done that in a virtual setting?
Like which? I don't understand the question. Where are you going through? I'm sorry.
It was a question I pulled from the chat earlier.
Yes.
One person, when you were showing, you showed a video of using songs and chants in your morning meeting and circle.
Yes.
So she's wondering how you might do that when you're on a Zoom call, or how you might do that when you're meeting with your students online.
Like sharing videos with music and that stuff, you can do it through Zoom as I did here, and you can do it in Google Classroom too. You have to allow some options like using the microphone of the computer, using the audio of the computer. We had so many trouble with that at first with Google Classroom, Google Hangouts, I have to say we hated it because the video stopped and that stuff. But I can look in my computer and share them in the discussion board, because I know that we download some kind of Chrome extensions with my lead teacher that allow us to have so many other tools of Google Hangouts that make the videos record better. And when we share some kind of song that all of them, we have to sing it or whatever, we, put our microphones on, prepare our ears, go far away from the computer, and everybody sing, dance, jump, and when everything stops, we mute all the microphones again. But it's, as this teacher say, we feel that we are in our classroom again for a while, and then we come back to normal way to teach.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And such a great plug for the discussion board. I know that there were some resources shared in the chat that will appear there later today. And so I'm going to drop some links in the chat for you in case.
Yes, yesterday, I know that Michelle already posted the questions from yesterday session, but I have to say I was working all the day in today ones. So I'm going to sit down during the weekend to answer the question from the yesterday one too.
Wonderful. No, that is great. And for everyone, if you are wanting to pose questions to the group, feel free to add them to the discussion thread there. And if you want to ask Fiamma specifically, you can tag her or tag other people. But that's a great way to keep collaborating with everyone. So thank you so much. There is the summit schedule. So if you still need to register for a few more sessions today and tomorrow, you can go there, and we've included the reflection link as well to earn your badge. So thank you, Fiamma, so much. We look forward to seeing you and many others from this call later today and tomorrow. We hope you have a great one. Thank you.